Before the Georgia game last year, I remember you were talking about the way the playoff system works now, and I thought it was interesting when you said now it's incumbent on the schools to have a good enough schedule that if you have one of these great seasons, nobody can argue with you that you belong among the four. What kind of long-range planning goes into making sure that you don't get disappointed in
Yeah.
you have the opportunity?
Well, for me personally, when I got the job, it was the first things we talked about in '09 with Terry Don. I sat down with Terry Don because, for me, I wanted the opportunity to be the best, and I knew that, whether it was people, saying things about the ACC or people saying things about Clemson, the only way we're going to change that is, you gotta win consistently, and you gotta beat people outside of your conference. So that's what we've done. We've just gone to work with that plan over the last 7 years, and because we sat down and we're talking about future schedules, and hey, Georgia's on the schedule, and I didn't even know if I'd still be the head coach. I was just hoping I'd be the head coach in 13. I'm like, if I'm here in 13, things have gone pretty good. So this was 2009, but because there was some talk about canceling that game, is how this came up. And I'm like, no. Hey, look, I'm not jacked up to go play Georgia. You play people like that, you gotta, it's a 50-50 deal. But we have to do that as a program. So from a scheduling philosophy, hey, we're going to play our conference games, and those are, you're all in every week when you play your conference games. Anything can happen. And then we got South Carolina, which has been an excellent opponent. They're an SEC team, and then we need somebody else every year. And then for us, we've had some other type of mid-major type of a team, and then one of our FCS schools in the state. That's been our formula, and the message being, hey, listen, we're going to have that type of year, and when it's all said and done, nobody's going to be able to, we're not going to have to worry about going undefeated and not being at the party. That ain't going to happen here. And that's what I've said from day one, and that's how it's played out. Whether it's been Florida State, or certainly we're in the position if we can finish. Nobody can say anything about our schedule. And then I think not just this year, but we've played a lot of people outside of this conference. A ton of people, whether it's through our schedule or through our bowl games. Some of the best in the world. From the LSU, Notre Dame, Ohio States, Oklahomas, Georgias, Auburns, we've played a lot of people, and because of the success that we've been able to have, well, then all of a sudden some of those perceptions change, and but you have to, you gotta do it. You can't talk about it. You got to be about it, and it's just, you put your head down as a program and go to work. You suck up the failures and learn from them, and you grow from the victories, and along the way you just keep recruiting, keep working, keep coaching, so now it's a different conversation. Nobody can say anything to us anymore. What are they gonna say? I laugh at all that. That's why I've been kind of critical of some people this year with some really uneducated comments. Because our team has been incredibly, there's not a more consistent team or program in the nation anywhere, on or off the field. And that's been a long, it's not just this year. This has been 7 years of just being efficient with what we do. And so I think, you gotta play people. You gotta play people. And I think, and I had no idea in '09 that there was this playoff thing. I had no clue. But certainly now that the playoff is in play, it seems to be one of those things they talk about every week as far as your strength of schedule. Now, some of that you don't control, because these schedules are done out in advance, and you may think you have a really good opponent on there, and it just so happens when it's time to play them, maybe they're in a bad run, because that happens. It doesn't matter. Whether it's Michigan or whoever, you go through bad runs in your program from time to time, and that's so those are things you don't control. But I think people understand, if you're trying to schedule aggressively or not.